Sleeping and waking are some of the biggest hidden struggles for ADHD families. Rough mornings are not parents' fault, but the secret to smooth mornings is actually in what happens the night before. So I'm going to help you fix mornings before they even start with 5 simple nighttime habits. I'm Annie Adjen. I'm a certified ADHD coach. I help teenagers, college students, and their parents learn about ADHD, manage it really well, and ultimately tap into its many gifts. Without sleep, the ADHD brain runs like an iPhone at 3%. The apps freeze up. Homework, mood, motivation, they all just crash. And that system crash happens at the most demanding moment for the whole family. Without a full charge, everything in the ADHD brain short circuits. The following 5 habits will help you build a successful nighttime routine to make sure your teen's battery is fully charged so that they're actually able to rise and shine in the morning. The first habit is sleep routine. Sleep experts say a sleep routine is queen for achieving optimal sleep. Doing the same 4 or 5 calming things at the same time every night in the same order signals to the brain, oh hey, I recognize this pattern. I just took a shower, flossed, brushed, watched a show with mom and dad, cuddled with the dog, set my alarm. Oh, I know what's next. I'm about to sleep. Sleep routine is like on your marks, get set, sleep. And the brain sleeps. I tell my students, your brain doesn't know what to think. You have to tell it and show it what to think. Adhering to a sleep schedule with the same sequence of steps is the sleep training recommended for teens. Do you remember sleep training when you had your baby? The same principle still applies to your teenager baby. Now I know this next part of the equation will be a hard sell, but the sleep routine needs to be consistent, even on weekends, as much as possible. Yes, allow for the occasional sleepover. But when you do, remember, you also are going to have to allow for grumpy pants to be totally unable to manage her core ADHD symptoms the entire next day. So as soon as you can, get them right back on their sacred sleep cycle. Now here is your pro tip from Coach Annie for this first habit of routine is queen. I want you to try setting one consistent bedtime for the next 3 nights and see how those mornings go. The next 2 habits are called set and setting for good sleep. Practice a few ways to relax the brain and body with your teenager, especially if they're experiencing racing thoughts that keep them awake at night. There's a lot of evidence that the practice of mindfulness really works here, like box breathing or progressive muscle relaxation. These all speak to the set of set and setting. The set is the mental state they bring into the nighttime routine, the emotions, the mood, and even an intention. Like, I'm going to breathe deeply, slowly, and invite sleep to join me. The setting part refers to creating a conducive environment for sleep, kind of like setting a stage for the act of sleep. Turn down the temperature so it's really nice and cool, and make it dark. Teenagers love those blackout shades in their bedrooms. Have a couple books that your teen has chosen right there on their nightstand with a tiny book clip light, so that if after 20 or 30 minutes they haven't yet fallen asleep, they can just turn to reading without getting out of bed or turning on the lights. On any morning, if your teen says, oh man, mom, I slept so well last night, ask them, what made it so good? Identify what's working and help them to do more of that. Conversely, if they're not sleeping well, ask them, what's making it hard to sleep? What could help? What would you like to try? Here is your next pro tip from Coach Annie for the set and setting sleep habit. At bedtime, start with just 5 deep breaths together and try to make the exhale a little longer than the inhale. That's about all it takes to calm down their nervous system. The 4th habit is screen hygiene. Schools are starting to restrict phones. Guess where else they need to be restricted? Bedtime. We know that screens are central to teenagers' identity and social connections, but they are toxic to good sleep. If your son or daughter has ADHD, you need to know that they can't regulate their screen use when left alone. Don't expect them to. Collaboratively work together to raise their awareness around the disturbing statistics of kids with screens in bedrooms at night, and decide together how you can take small steps towards screen-free bedrooms after dark. Something really important to know is that all screens emit blue light, and the blue light tricks the brain into thinking it's daytime. This blue light keeps the hormone melatonin from being produced, which is necessary for the onset of sleep. Buy your teen a cool and affordable pair of blue light blocking glasses. I think you should get them for the whole family and wear them after about 9 p.m. fold this fun step into their sleep routine. Now, you might be thinking, no way can I ever get all the screens out of his bedroom. Yes, you can. And you need to take it slow and pull them into the light. By this, I mean educate yourselves together. Watch this video together with your teen. Get their creative ideas and their input. You can't remove their screens without replacing what they love. So co-create a plan. What feels realistic to them? What feels doable for you? When teens help design the rules, they follow them longer. Many of my successful students have their phones charging in the hallway right outside of their bedroom door so they can hear the alarm in the morning, and that helps them get up out of bed, upright, in order to turn it off. Plus, you can teach them about the harmful wavelengths that are emitted from charging electronics that no teenager should be exposed to for 10 hours during the night. Studies show that when teenagers discover that they're getting duped or companies are making money off of their attention, their time, their ignorance, or their friends, that's the moment they sit up and take notice and take action to change their ways. So here's your next pro tip from Coach Annie to improve screen hygiene with your teen. Pick just one screen rule that you can both agree on, just one, and commit to testing that for 1 week. The fifth and final sleep habit is sunshine. During the daylight hours, there are two critical things that the brain must have in order to sleep well that night. The first is exercise. Encourage movement during the day, even if you have to do it together. A short walk after school or dinner, those are great options. Better yet, have them choose an activity they want to do after school, like hitting the local basketball courts, going to the YMCA, martial arts, bouldering, rock climbing, boxing, whatever floats their boat and moves their feet. It must be interest-based, or else just be prepared to have to do it with them in order to engage them. Exercise guarantees better sleep. No exercise translates to poor sleep, and especially a much more difficult time falling asleep. Also, exercise, any amount of it, also helps manage all ADHD symptoms. Major bonus. Part of your morning mayhem is because your teen's brain can't boot up. Sunlight isn't just about waking up the body. It wakes up motivation, persistence, desire to move toward a goal. Just like sun to a plant, it helps grow the executive functions too in the brain. When light hits the eyes, the brain says, oh, the day has started. I need to move my body. So the last pro tip from Coach Annie, have your teen step outside, even if they're still in their pajamas, for just 5 minutes with you within 1 hour of waking up. That's a wrap, parents. You've got this. Start with just one habit tonight. And remember, morning success is built the night before on good sleep hygiene habits. With small but steady 1% improvements every day, mornings will get better. And don't forget, Coach Annie is with you in this and every parenting endeavor.